Well, that's cool. It gives me an option to leave it if I don't know. I did.
All right. I think we're live, guys. Are we live, Dom?
I mean, make sure I'm muted.
Oh, yeah, we're on the tube.
So don't mess that up. When we out here, and we're live. Podcast. We cast down on the Mecca. Brad Johnson.
That was good. You did good tonight.
What's going on, everybody? And welcome to another very, very exciting episode of The Push, presented by bodyslam.net. And you can see right next to me on the screen is somebody who needs no introduction at all. The Mecca, Brian Johnson himself.
After whatever that introduction was, you're right. This should be pushed because I want to be pushed off a cliff. That was something else.
I told you, man.
Ooh, I love it.
See, you embarrassed me in front of my favorite wrestler. You see what you do?
Hey,
unbelievable.
Man. Turnabout. That's all right.
Some things are inevitable in your lifetime.
Yep. I didn't want to do it. I know we had to because it's become its own thing. That's our crazy intro. But dude, I'm so happy to have you on what is probably going into maybe the biggest match, or at least the most hyped match of your ROH career, I would say.
For sure. It's a homecoming of sorts. I haven't wrestled in Philly in a long time, since 2019, I think. And even then, I was still kind of figuring out whatever this Mecha locomotive was that I've been driving. And now that we got it figured out and we're set for a pretty big homecoming, to do it against a star, against EC3 is obviously a big deal. EC3 is more well known than me at this point, but that's at this point. At the end of the night, I'm hoping that changes. That narrative that he has changes, right?
Absolutely. And what a narrative it is too, because like you said, you're coming home, and somebody like myself, I know there's a lot of people in Philly that are very, very excited to see this, because this feels like it's a long time coming for you. A lot of us who are just homegrown Mecha fans, we feel like, you've already been making a name for yourself. Do you feel like coming home, this is a homecoming? Do you feel like a heel, or do you feel like somebody who's going to be received to a hero's welcome?
So, I don't know if I ever think, I guess by definition of a heel, you mean a bad guy or some sort of person who does things at means that regular people wouldn't. By that, whatever you mean by that, I don't think I'm that ever. I think I've been vindicated in my thoughts, feelings, and expressions since day one. It's just a matter that sometimes people don't like the way you say it. Philadelphia, our fan base is a blue collar, appreciate people that talk to you that way and treat you that way, that are in your face and are real. So do I think that they respect the fact that not only am I from there, but I'm one of them? Yeah, I think that's definitely going to work in my favor. But if I think that just because it's Philly, they're cheering me because I'm a good guy or a bad guy, no, I think that's bogus. I think I'm just the guy.
Okay, fair enough. And one thing that seems to be a common description of you is somebody who has a lot of energy and a lot to prove. You feel that's a fair description of you?
Yeah, man, I do have a lot to prove. I've been at this for way longer than I need to talk about, and it wasn't always at a big level like Ring of Honor. But if you want to prove you're the best wrestler in the world, you do it there. And if you don't believe us, I mean, we've only been running since 2002, yet you can't touch down anywhere on planet Earth in a meaningful wrestling company that doesn't have some influence of Ring of Honor. Period. Every single place. People that are stars there have been here. Why? Because they know you have to cut your teeth here to get it. And that's what I plan on doing. And when you have big time matches, is when you have big time moments and you prove yourself. Doesn't get much bigger than EC3, man. He's been literally everywhere in the world. I don't have to run down his resume. People know him. They don't know me, but that's going to change come August 20th. What, tomorrow is live, right? Yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah.
And, I was lucky enough to be able to get a conversation with you right around this time last year for another podcast on bodyslam.net that we had. And at that time, it was right in the heart and, kind of the grit of the start of COVID. You were talking about just wanting to be available for Ring of Honor and how you really appreciated their loyalty to their talent during COVID. And you said that you wanted to reciprocate that with being loyal to Ring of Honor yourself. Would you rather see yourself at this point as a Ring of Honor lifer, or do you see yourself as just chasing whatever the biggest offer is to be able to get yourself out as broad as possible?
I'm a basketball fan. Everybody knows that Dame Lillard took shots at Kevin Durant and all those guys for joining super teams. He was always going to be loyal, right? And if you're an NBA guy, you kind of respect Dame and how much he stayed by Portland, whether or not you agree or disagree with the franchise's moves or whatever, right? But it's come up in Philadelphia that it might be Dame time here soon. I feel like my time in Ring of Honor is not even nearly done. It's just getting started. And the only thought in my mind today, yesterday, the last month, the last year, and for the foreseeable future is making Ring of Honor the best damn product there is in the world. If you haven't seen the Briscoes' most recent comments on the up-and-coming shows, while I disagree with a lot of what those chicken farmers do, I stick by their sentiments of bring it on, motherfuckers. I know that Ring of Honor isn't the belle of the ball, right? It's a big weekend in wrestling. A lot of stuff happened out in Vegas. Well, if you're going to gamble on something, gamble your Friday night and Saturday night on what we got to bring. Because all those other places you're watching have just taken people that sunk their teeth and made this place the place that it is. So whether or not I'm a lifer, I don't know, because life can change in any moment. But if you told me, would I be happy tomorrow if I died, knowing that I swung the Ring of Honor flag higher and harder than anybody? You're damn right I would be, because they were the first and only people to come for me, and I fucking really appreciate that.
Let me take a left turn right now. What do you think of the Joel Embiid Supermax deal that the Sixers just
great. It's fantastic. We don't have to trade Ben right away now. I was worried if Ben stuck around long enough, maybe he doesn't want to sign the Supermax. We got him for at least 2 years, even though the way contracts work, he can demand it at any time. It's great. And the idea is trade Ben, right? So we just need a couple things to go our way. And I the way the NBA works, it sounds like we're to get Dame Lillard, right?
Dude, that would be amazing. And
it's the way it sounds. If he listens to this, Dame, freaking come on, man.
I'll tell you what, we've been hyping up Dame for a long time because I'm a big fan of the basketball player, the rapper, the person. I would love to see him in Philly.
I think he embodies Philly a lot. And you were using terms like heel earlier. It's not a heel. I hate to be corny. It's a grit. Philadelphia appreciates guys that they know are putting in the work and that want to be here and that want to represent our hard-nosed, in-your-face style. And it doesn't always mean like showing up to practice, because we know about AI, but people love him, right? It's the representation of the city and appreciating what that fan base means. And I think the Mecca as a wrestler embodies a lot. And I think that's what Dame will appreciate here. Those Portland fans, by all means, seem similar to us, just West Coast, you know what I mean? So I would assume it would only be better. Not assume, come on, it's Philadelphia. It's going to be better.
I know you're not just a basketball fan. I know you're a fan of all Philly sports in any shape or form. If you had to compare yourself to one Philly sports player in history, who do you think you could compare yourself to, if anybody comes to mind?
Man, that's a tough one on the spot, my man. I like the way he handled himself and like his quotes. Ricky Waters, but like he wasn't loved here. But that idea of being misunderstood, I think I'm more Ricky Waters to Ring of Honor. Maybe misunderstood or misguided in some sort of ways. They think my anger is the wrong ways, but they don't understand it.
I love that answer.
I can't help that I'm passionate. But in the sense of like a player that, you know, because he wasn't loved, Ricky. That's tough. I'm going to have to think. If there's fans of this show, by all means, I'd like to know what they think, I guess. That's a good one. I don't know off the top of my head.
As an Atlanta fan through everything, I have not liked many Philly people my entire life, but one of the only Philly players I've always loved is Mike Schmidt. So I'm just going to throw out Mike Schmidt.
Okay.
Because I can compare Mike Schmidt to anybody. I like Mike Schmidt. I don't care. What do you know about that, Dom? Surprised you on that one, I bet.
the Mecca should have his own statue in Philly, as far as I'm concerned.
Hey, we're
That's
slowly
just me.
building it. We're slowly building it, man. We're slowly building it.
Have you wrestled in the ECW Arena in 2300 before?
I did in 2019. PJ Black and myself defeated Master Machine in a tag team match.
Okay.
I got the W. I wrestled there also, maybe a 6-man tag right before the Top Prospect tournament in that summer. I believe it was like August.
Okay.
But nothing that was hyped to this matter. I don't think either one of those matches I just named were even previously listed. It was back when we were doing TV tapings, so they would, announce maybe 4 or 5, and then there'd be like 14 matches, you know what I mean? Because it was spread out.
And this also isn't your first pay-per-view match either by any stretch. I mean, you've had just
no. I mean, people say that this may be my most hyped, but I don't know if it's my biggest match. You don't get much bigger than the Briscoe brothers in our very first match on pay-per-view with a crowd back, and open the pay-per-view against the Briscoes and the energy. There's a reason why I'm there. Why I like to complain about maybe ways that Ring of Honor doesn't always treat me in the way that I think they should. They also gave me a microphone to open their first pay-per-view back with a live crowd. They're either insane or they're buying what I'm selling. It's probably something of the both of them. But the Mecca's on a roll and they see it. So they're capitalizing on it.
And the top people in the industry are copying you. You had a match with Danhausen a little bit prior to that, where you got on the mic mid-match and were taunting him mid-match. And that was at a pay-per-view. And then I'm pretty sure it was the very next AEW live show that they had after that. You see Kenny Omega doing the same thing. And I know that was directly taken from you and nobody else. Clearly direct shot.
I never watched. I have no idea.
You never watch AEW?
I watch Ring of Honor.
Okay.
Do you don't watch any of the competition then?
No, sir. Why would I support people trying to take food from my mouth? I know that a lot of people are buddies, right? And we're all friends. No, we're not. I'm not. I don't have a bunch of friends in WWE. If I did, I'd probably try to go there. Or I don't know. That's what people do because they want to be friends in wrestling. I'm not. I'm here to be the best damn wrestler on the planet. I want to be remembered when this thing is over. I don't want to have people talk about how this one time I wore gear that the wrestler I looked up to wore. And all the bozos that are doing that on all big companies and all the crap they do and all the social media love they put out. Oh, I'm so happy for my friend. Get bent. Like, why are you happy that he's taking your job, that he's making more? Like, what? I'm here to be the very best. And if anybody doesn't have that passion to be the very best, they're clueless and I'm going to run past them. So I don't watch AEW or WWE or Impact or New Japan Strong. Yeah, right. Watch Ring of Honor. We're better.
Where do you find your constant motivation to push yourself as much as you do? It's always on display, and it seems like it's just a never-ending fuse that you are just constantly A-type, constantly pushing forward, moving, and just promoting your brand. Where do you get this constant energy from?
I don't know if it's energy, man, but like, I fucking love pro wrestling. And like, I feel like there was a time where that like became not cool or like people mocked it or they used term to make fun of guys. And then like people now have this other idea of what they think pro wrestling is. And now it's more, I just enjoy it more than fucking anybody. That's all I've ever wanted to do. And it pisses me off that there's a large amount of people that I don't think are that good at it that are getting praised because they do things on social media or they're nice and sign an autograph. So people say they're a good wrestler, but if you watch their matches, they're horrible. And there's a lot of people that are behind their keyboards that get behind these pro wrestlers that, prostitute themselves up and down the turnpike every weekend and consider them warriors. And it's like, well, are they? And somehow that vocal minority turned into the majority and it's ruined pro wrestling. Maybe not ruined. That's a wrong way to put it. Ruin's kind of strong, but I think we've just allowed, like, so many guys get credit for working hard. Well, damn right it's hard. It's pro freaking wrestling. Like, why don't people go congratulate the guy on the AA team in baseball that's making $25 to sit on some bullshit bus? But they don't. But now because this wrestler drove the turnpike for 3 weeks and like took some stupid bumps in front of 30 assholes in a backyard, we all got to say he deserves it? No, he doesn't. Get in the freaking gym. Get some gear that looks respectable. It's the way the pro wrestling's turned into. And I think Ring of Honor has the best product out there, not embarrassing the fans. From top to bottom, pro wrestling's supposed to be a carnival or like all these different obstacles, right? Or different personalities, shapes, and sizes. We give you everything.
Yeah,
I don't know, but from what I understand, if you watch on Monday night for 3 hours, there's a formula to it.
Oh, it's horrible.
And while I don't watch on Wednesday nights, but from what I understand, there could be a shooting star press match 1 or 7. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I don't watch it. But I know when you put on Ring of Honor, our 6-man tag champions don't look like any other 6-man tag champs in the world, but they will whoop your ass. And I don't like Shane Taylor Promotions, but I know they're special. And you know where they go after that? Our world champion is Bandito, the best freaking cruiserweight on the planet. Not America, not planet. Bandito's the best. And if you don't think he's good, we got Flamita and Ray Horace. And then the baddest Bandito mask. And the baddest MFing luchador at walking Roosh. Oh, that's not enough. You want some badasses? Brody King, the Briscoe brothers. Who's going to swing on those guys? And then technicians. We have the best professional wrestler, bell to bell on the planet, John Gresham. Yet no one's talking about us because we don't shoot some bullshit fireworks out and have ridiculous costumes. Sorry, guys. You know what we are? We're talented. And we're sick and tired of not getting our names up in the bright lights. And this weekend, we're going to prove it. That's where the motivation comes from. Because, Dom, while I like you because we're from the same neighborhood, I get jackasses like you asking these questions. Am I going to be a lifer? Yeah, I want to be a lifer at the most talented place, and that's Ring of Honor. But people think that there's some hierarchy to these other companies because they have some bullshit suits paying their checks instead. Who cares? Talent is talent, and I think we got the best of it.
I love that. And, I think there's so much of a stigma for people that they grew up on WWE. They grew up on this or that or WCW and they want
it. It's the brain. But it's like Kleenex for tissues. I get it for sure. I understand it. I do.
But you don't buy into it. And that's why I think I like you as so much as a wrestler, and just it's so easy for me to buy into what you do on TV because you seem like somebody that's always moving forward. You're not worried about what anybody else is doing. And honestly,
all these sausage fingers at home slamming their keyboard have done nothing but bitch and moan about WWE for 12 years, right? Well, if you're not happy with it, watch something else. If I watch, some TV show, I have no idea. I watch zero television. I almost said The Young and the Restless. That was literally what came to mind. If I watch some ridiculous TV show and for 12 straight seasons, I go, this shit sucks, I'm going to stop watching. But instead, they just sit at home and get heavier and use more of mom's electricity to complain about it. Yet they're not turning their eyes when the best product's sitting right underneath their noses.
I don't want to be responsible for giving you a heart attack the day before you go into this match.
I'm on this way all the time. I believe in the flag I swing. I really do. And I shit on Ring of Honor a lot because they piss me off. Any job does. But I'm more mad that there's this perception that I've already touched on. And I think that people need to open their eyes. And the Briscoes fired me up with what they said last night. If you haven't seen it, everybody should go to Ring of Honor's Twitter. Do not have your children around. But the Briscoes said it, and I stand by it. And I'll swing that flag all day.
That's awesome to hear. But I want to take it down a little bit and ask you a little bit of a lighter question because I'm so excited to go tomorrow, see you at the 2300 Arena, formerly the ECW Arena. The night that I met Cass, he actually came up from North Carolina to go to it was House of Hardcore show. But my first wrestling event at the ECW Arena was a Ring of Honor show, and I want to know, what was your first event at the ECW Arena?
I had a dark match with.
No. I meant the first time in your life that you went just as a fan growing up. Do you remember the first time that you stepped foot in there?
Oh, man. Taz and Bam Bam Bigelow did something. I went with my dad. I was young. My older brother watched. I was young. Taz and Bam Bam Bigelow going at it. So that's got to be 95 is my guess, maybe 96.
Okay. So now how old are you at the time?
8, I think. Is that right? Maybe
Okay.
7. My years are all mixed up. I forget what year it was, but I went to 2 ECW events. That was one. And then there was one up at this hall right by Franklin Mills Mall in the Northeast.
Sure.
But I didn't see a lot of ECW because it came on late and I was young. So like staying up that late on Saturdays, I didn't always get a chance to watch it. So it was like always third in line. You know what I mean? Like it was WWF, WCW, than that. But I don't think I appreciated the building for what it was or anything when I was there. Like I didn't know. You know what I mean? I was young. And you know what? Now that I think about it, then I went to a ROH show and the main event was Steen and Generico against the All Night Express in the main event, I believe it was. Maybe I got that mixed up, but I remember Rhett being in the main event, and that was probably 2008. And then I realized how cool the building was. It was a little different setup than it is now, but
I think at that point it was called like the new Alhambra or something.
Yeah, it was something different for sure. They were, I think it was 2008. That seems right year-wise. Something like that.
And now I know you've also wrestled in a lot of Philly venues that obviously are much bigger capacity and you know are bigger for other reasons. Is there any kind of special feeling that you get to come back and have this match at the ECW Arena?
I think it being in Philly more so than ECW Arena to me personally. While the ECW Arena is a big deal, like you get this buzz when you're in historic buildings. Even Atlanta, when we do Center Stage, it's
I love that
building, right? You know what I mean? Like you can kind of get a buzz, and especially when it fills up, good shows, right? I feel that way. We did shows in Nashville in the same building that the original Starcades, I believe, were in. Yeah, the original Starcades, I believe, or some of the Starcades were in this Nashville building we ran in 2019. I remember having some cool feelings. And then when we did Madison Square Garden, right? I mean, so whenever you're in a historic building, I think there is a level of maybe mojo or like there's some feel for sure, right? I would have had that no matter what because it was Philly. If we were running in an Armory, the Murphy Rec, the Wachovia Center, the Link, or the ECW Arena, I'm feeling the same way because I haven't wrestled here in, like I said, 2 years, and it's been a big change in the last 2 years. I don't think people saw this coming as much as it's picked up, and that's their fault. But it's here now.
I think I was at that Center Stage show in 2019. It was the night before you went to Nashville, I think, right?
That would make sense. Yes, yes. We were in Nashville the next night.
Yeah, that was a good show, man. That was fun.
PCO
busted his head, right?
Right.
My video went viral on that, dude. I had like almost 100,000 views because I took a good video of that, and it just went nuts, like popped off. Yeah, that was crazy.
He's one that dumb monster's one of the strongest sons of bitches I've ever been in the ring with. Yeah, he's something else.
To do it at that age, I mean, that's obviously the biggest thing about him, but that's not about PCO. It's about you.
Hey, man, I know. I was just going to say that. Like, hey, if we're bringing up PCO, that other jackass is going to get brought up, and then I'm out of here.
Right. But look, well, after you beat EC3 tomorrow, how do you celebrate?
I like the confidence.
How do you celebrate after a win like that in your hometown? What do you do? Where do you go? Who's there?
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to keep to myself. Probably put on my headphones, go back to my hotel room and wait, because EC3 right now is in the world title contention. And all I keep hearing from Ring of Honor is week by week, and Kevin X's stupid website article that he writes every week is that Sunday night or Saturday night, they're going to announce the number one contender for the Ring of Honor World Championship at Death Before Dishonor, which is in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
That's right.
So
that was supposed to be.
I look at it.
Yeah, that was going to be in Vegas, right?
No, it was in Florida.
It was supposed to be in Florida.
Right,
yeah,
Lakeland.
In Lakeland? Lakeland.
Yes, due to COVID changes, Ring of Honor has moved the pay-per-view to Philadelphia.
Okay.
Not saying that I wasn't always gearing for the world championship, but I did notice that EC3 is in the rankings. And if I beat EC3 and that building is as fired up as I'm hoping it is, or as I'm expecting it to be, I think night 2, maybe we're announcing the Mecca as the next #1 contender for the Ring of Honor World Championship. But it's beat EC3 first. That's the goal at hand. Beat EC3, no celebrate, stare a hole in the wall until they make that announcement. And then move on accordingly.
Man, I love it. Best answer that you could have. If you're a Mecha fan, even if you're not a Mecha fan, how could you hate an answer like that? I gotta think that it's nothing but up from here, because it seemed when we had you on about a year ago, you were definitely getting attention on Ring of Honor. But we said this right before we went on the air. I love how much I see the Mecha plastered, or at least being talked about week to week on ROH programming, and I know that no amount of attention is ever going to be enough of amount of attention.
Well,
but
I think a lot of it came from COVID restrictions from wrestling.
Yeah.
It gave me a chance where people had to listen to what I had to say, and they're realizing, I guess the term is a promo, right? I'm the best, whatever it is. When I talk, I'm the best at it in professional wrestling. And people are just starting to take notice of that. And that's across all boards and all companies and all championships and all globes. And I don't give a shit who's listening.
That's a big thing, man. You can't teach that. A lot of people, you can't teach how to do a good promo and how to be good on the mic, man. Like, they can do whatever in the ring, but if you don't have that ability to cut a good promo, connect with the crowd, and just stand out, like, you're just another guy that can do shit in the ring. But yeah, dude, yeah, you definitely are. I love hearing you talk shit, man. I love it so much.
Listen, put it that way. I talk, people fucking listen, and they're going to keep listening, and they're going to hear this Mecha locomotive steamrolling, because now that I got them listening, that means not only do I have their ears, I'm going to have their eyes, and they're going to see what I can do in the ring against some of the biggest names in the world. Briscoe's open a pay-per-view. EC3 put my foot in his ass, and then Bandito is hopefully next in that scope.
That's what's up. I love it.
You have your Eskin driver.
Damn right.
Has he given you any praise or any,
Yeah, Spike. Hey, while he's a traitor, he had to move on to New York, and we will always dislike him. I owe Spike some credit, because I ended up getting that TV championship match against Dragon Lee with some help from the Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast. And I don't know. At that point, I don't think Ring of Honor fans liked me or even respected me enough to vote me in. So I know that the city of Philadelphia and the influence of Spike definitely came at a good time there. So, well, I understand he's got to leave for greener pastures. I ain't happy about it, but he did me a solid with that. So it'll be staying in the repertoire.
I like it. It just speaks to your loyalty, right?
You're a loyal guy. Man, yeah, I buy in on people that buy in on me.
Speaking of buying in, where could I buy in on some of that Mecha merch?
No, there is none. I see, that's the problem. There's so many people that, like, I get phone calls from Pro Wrestling Tees once every Thursday. It's almost regular. Ring of Honor merch wants to make me. Fans tweet, and I don't think they get it. Like, I did this myself. You don't get to capitalize off of me. So some jackass at home can wear a Mecha shirt and act like he's always been there. No, you haven't. No one has been. See around me.
Fucking calling you out already, Dom.
I don't have pictures of my kids.
You just blew his spot. I love it.
I don't have my wife. I ain't got shit.
He was gonna fucking get a shirt and be like, "I'm a day one. See, I've had this shirt." You called him out. I love it.
So nobody
mute him so you can
say
talk.
that they've been there, because it's only been me. This is it. It's not insanity. I'm not some mark for myself that needs to see guys wear my T-shirt. I don't need their approval. You know what I need? The bank checks to keep cashing, and me to keep going down as one of the best ever. So I don't need some stupid shirt to represent that. You know who made me this? My mother. This is one of one mint condition Mama Mecha made, and I won't get another one. Until this one gets bad, then Mama Mecha might make me a second one. But outside of that, no. And I ain't selling it so some weirdo can sniff it at home.
talking about you, buddy.
You brought up Mama Mecca. I wasn't going to bring it up unless you did. When are the robes coming back? Mama Mecca made you some sweet entrance robes in the past.
The Mecca will never wear a robe.
Okay. I figured as much, but personally, I love the robes. And knowing that Mama Mecca made them,
she's a talented lady.
That's awesome. She's a
She's
saint. I've never met her. I can only imagine, but
she birthed me, so it at least makes her Mary, if not a saint.
So how are you gonna put me through the rest of your night as far as preparing for a match like tomorrow?
So I'm a big guy on watching film.
Okay.
Like I said, I like wrestling, so I'm going to watch it anyway. So I'll watch EC3 tonight. He hasn't had a lot of matches here at Ring of Honor, so it shouldn't be a long night. Also, I'll look at some of his other stuff, maybe at other products if need be, but most guys kind of get into a rhythm over 3 or 4 matches. You can kind of see what they do, and that's about what he's had here. It's not like I'm coming into a brand new atmosphere. I mean, we've never wrestled, but I've seen him wrestle, right? So I'll do some mental prep there. And then all the nonsense, I got to do laundry because I don't dress up like a schlep to go to these shows like half of the roster does. I don't wear some bullshit, graphic tee and some shorts. I look like a professional when I show up for my professional job. So, I got a suit upstairs I got to take care of and some shirts to press and iron, things that adults wear to adults' jobs. I try to do that. I know that doesn't make it through all rosters, but that's why I'm me.
I like that.
How about the
I'll
beer?
probably eat some eggs. I'm a big fan of eggs, so I'll probably eat some scrambled eggs later. If you really want to know what the hell I'm doing, I'll probably eat some scrambled eggs.
No Rocky style?
No Rocky style.
Okay.
No Rocky style.
Will you ever do that when you're training?
I used to have an old trainer that would swear by it.
Okay.
He's awesome. He's a great guy. But then I think I read on the internet, as he was swearing by it, that your body doesn't actually process the protein. There's people out there that might know this science, but I believe the science is it's not bad for you the way that your parents think you're going to get diseases. It's not true. It just runs through you, to my knowledge.
Yeah, and it's not as effective.
And you don't maintain any of it. So to drink something that wasn't necessarily tasty and not maintain it seemed counterproductive. So I stopped, but I did try that for a while.
Oh, okay. Is it as bad going down?
No, man, it's just it's a little slimy. So it's like a Jello shot.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, kind of without the lumps, if that makes sense.
Not too lucky.
I don't know. I don't like Jello shots. Only D-bags drink Jello shots. Yeah. So I don't. That was a bad analogy, I guess. I'm sorry if I can't curse on here.
No, dude,
you can curse.
This guy.
Yeah, I guess I just thought about that with D-bags. Sorry, I just thought about that right now.
I swear way too much. Dom's always getting on my ass for it. He's like, you gotta. My mom's always thanking Dom for not swearing and talking shit about me, so it's whatever. Cuss it up.
Good.
Yeah.
You're the Mecca. You do whatever you want on the show.
Yeah. Well, I agree.
But,
we don't want shows shut down. I need somebody to promote me as a Philadelphia fan.
Now, PJ Black has been right by your side for most of your ROH career, whether he's been right by your side or a step behind, kind of looking over, just watching you do your thing. And, you are 100% your own talent. You've done your thing completely on your own. But do you feel that there's any benefit to keeping PJ around further in your career? Or do you feel at this point that he's become more of a hindrance to you?
Hindrance, no, I don't feel that. PJ's not a hindrance. But to answer your question, do I still want him I think he could not be a hindrance and me think that I'm ready to go on my own and then not, you understand what I'm saying?
Sure.
I think it's weird for people to hear me say this, but I truly appreciate PJ Black. Mm-hmm. While I can say COVID got people to listen to me, people weren't even looking at me before PJ was. So I freaking appreciate that more than he'll probably ever know. But have we been successful as a tag team? No, we lost to the Briscoes. For the record, I didn't get pinned. So do I think there's a future in tag team glory where PJ Black and Brian Johnson are tag champions? Probably not, but maybe. But at this time, I think Mecha versus everybody has got me this far. Whether or not he got that started, I think it's best that Mecha versus everybody stays that way. But that doesn't necessarily mean I'm against PJ. He just, he can do his thing. The doctor can hold his own, man. He's freaking one of the most talented guys I've ever talked to. He's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Right. What do you do for
crap with his stupid breathing shit? Like super annoying too. Like always sending me yoga poses and like you guys think it's like a joke. Like no, like he was messaging me today, seeing if I stretch. Like shut up. But he's talented.
Look, I'll go on record and say I buy into all that stuff too. I have a brother who's a physical therapist. He's very into.
You want to talk to PJ every day? Go ahead. You want to talk to him about quantum leaps and physics and berries and shit? I don't. Go ahead.
We actually had a show in our archives with former ROH standout Jimmy Jacobs, and half the episode was talking about that. Breathing and being grounded. Never heard of Mecca. Fair enough.
Never heard of him. If Jimmy hears this, I've never heard of him. Jimmy and I worked in Canada once. Jimmy's
yeah.
I know Jimmy. Jimmy's I'm not shocked that that's what Jimmy talked about. That is actually
it's on brand, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
He just seems like such a genuinely nice person. Just such a
I don't know. He's a jackass. I don't think he's nice. I just know that he breathes and does that crap.
Okay, fair enough. So now, do you see anybody else in Ring of Honor that you could find yourself getting, maybe if not into a tag team with, at least some? It seems like Ring of Honor is the place where people faction up.
You're right. That's exactly what I want.
Okay.
So what am I going to do? Join LFI, right? So hang out with Roosh, Dragon Lee, Bestia, and Kenny King. Like that sounds like the worst time ever. I'd rather go to a family party. Then you got Shane Taylor Promotions. We don't get along. I don't really like them. They don't really like me. I think their jackets are kind of lame. They don't like that I said that. It is what it is. Then the Foundation. Come seriously, think about the Foundation. Do you think I'm going to be seen with 4 nerds like that? Like they're just nerds. They've all been swirly multiple times, likely. Especially Gresham. He's so close to the ground. And then what other factions are there? Oh, Violence Unlimited. Those guys can't even pass a spelling test, let alone a smelling test. Homicide and Chris Dickinson look like they bathe in the sewers of New York. I don't want to hang out with those guys. And then, you know what? I don't hate Beer City Bruiser, Brian Malonis, and Ken Dixon that much. They were picking on Ian Riccaboni the other day. I thought that was pretty funny, and I enjoy drinking beer. But from what I understand, Bruiser likes Yingling, and Yingling sucks. So I don't want to drink with those jackasses either.
The only people I know that
Primal Fear seems weird. They're like a boy band and vampires all in one. I don't know if they're going to fry underneath the sun or try to put on a dance routine. Like I ain't got no time for all these groups. Who would I want to join with? Let me ask the experts. Hey guys, who do you want to see Brian Johnson team with?
I want to get back to what you said about Yingling.
You set him up. I love it.
Everybody I know that likes Yingling is from out of state. For whatever reason, it's like it's an import to them, so it's a good thing. But I never really got behind it either. I don't understand it.
Yeah, I don't get behind it. I don't drink it. I don't get in front of it. It's terrible.
But then that makes me think: do people in Boston feel that way about Sam Adams?
I don't care what people in Boston think.
Nobody does.
All right, fair enough.
Sweet Caroline, least favorite song I've ever heard. Swear to God, absolutely hate it. My least favorite song.
I went to Fenway a few years ago. It is a very uncomfortable place to see a ball game. I actually had to get up and move because my seat was right next to like one of these pillars. And I was like, no, I'm not going to just block my entire view of the outfield because I'm right in this schmuck seat.
Well, if you were watching the Red Sox, maybe you'd better off not watching.
See, you could tell I'm a big fan, Cass, because he's bringing out my inner my inner rant. I'm just start ranting when he's on.
I love this. I love all the shit talking you're getting so much. This is great. I just get to sit back and laugh.
Yeah, well, I mean, none of it's like untrue. Nothing I said about those guys was a lie.
But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I wanted to interject at one point because both Shane Taylor and Tony Deppen were recent interviews that we had, and I purposely mentioned your name specifically. They both had good things to say about you. You could tell they didn't want to, but they're getting to the point, and I think everybody's getting to the point where, regardless of how they feel about you, you're getting to the point where you got to give you your due.
Yeah, I'm freaking talented. And it's about time people realize, like, I'm sorry. Yes, they should be saying good things about me. I'm really freaking good at what I do. And I don't need some group of goons or jabronis standing around me as yes men to make some group to make me tough. If I'm going to get my ass kicked, I'm going to get my ass kicked. I talked a lot of shit there about people, and a lot of them could probably kick my ass. But that doesn't mean that I need some group of friends to prove my worth or like some cool faction because it's no. I joined pro wrestling. Why? So I could be the best, not so some jerks can hang on to my coattails. Ring of Honor is getting enough of my royalties.
And that's another thing, not to keep kissing your ass, but whatever, screw it. I'm going to keep kissing your ass because you're my favorite wrestler.
That's cool.
That's another thing that I love. Like, you seem like somebody who will just continue to keep talking shit, even if they're beaten into the ground. And it seems like your drive and your will far exceed whatever your body will let you do, despite the fact that it's not like you're a small guy either. You're a big guy yourself.
Listen, my mouth got me in some trouble too. I certainly didn't need to talk. Probably some of the times like getting kicked out of the locker room early on wasn't good because of my mouth. So like Jay Briscoe punching me in the face at Best in the World, not my favorite points in time either. Made fun of his mother and then he pie faces you and throws you into a post. Wasn't fun, you know? I certainly have eaten my fair share of ass whoopings for some things I've done. Dalton Castle threw me a lot and I was pretty dizzy for like 3 weeks. Yeah, so I realized that my mouth gets me in trouble, but it's how I feel. And when I was quiet and putting a robe on and standing in front of a mirror and kind of keeping those feelings inside and trying to project what I thought a pro wrestler was supposed to be, nobody was listening. And then when I started projecting what I was and what I thought, actually, outwardly, now I have your podcast and lots of others and a bunch of bozos messaging me to help give them clout. So I think doing what I'm doing is the right thing.
Dude, absolutely. Listen, I'm a fan. Cass is a fan.
Definitely.
We have a lot of people who are listening who are fans as well. And thank you so much for being with us.
No
I don't want to keep you any longer because I know that this is a big night for you going into a big match tomorrow. Do you have any final words for the listeners since we're live?
So I've made my pitch about how Ring of Honor is a little engine that could and how we don't get enough attention. Why? It's a lot of bitching and moaning while I'm sitting here because it's kind of a claim that people have made for years with us. But I think that the proof's in the pudding. I said it already. We're in every promotion on every continent. You can't write the history of pro wrestling without Ring of Honor right now, based off of how influential we are everywhere across the globe. Well, right now, we got a new crop of people that are going to take over this wrestling world. So if you're this internet fan listening to bodyslam.net, because you ain't got nothing better to do on Thursday night, because you're definitely not getting a date, you might as well tune in to Ring of Honor and stick to what you guys all clamor for. You see wrestling fans bitch and moan about the major products, but then there's some great product that is indie that isn't getting the rub, but they won't pay attention to. And I'm telling you, what we have lined up, not just the first night, which is going to be me whooping EC3's ass. So that's just for our Philly fans. But you got a world title match between Bandito and Flip Gordon, two guys that are I think, arguably the two best high-flying athletes in the world. Will Ospreay's probably in that. I don't want to forget about him. Rey Mysterio is still breathing, so he's the best. But, there's a lot of great talent. They're two of, right? And then the next night, a cage match between Matt Taven and Vincent that people might not know about because, again, we're not always talked about. But I hear wrestling fans clamoring for long storytelling. Well, this has been going on for over 2 years. A guy's invaded his house, turned his back on his best friend, stabbed him with a fucking axe. And they're doing the first cage match in years. You're clueless if you don't turn into Ring of Honor. You're not a wrestling fan. You're a jackass. And you're some ho-hum piece of dirt I don't want around me anyway. I guess that's a weird way to plead for you to buy the show or tune in. But if you don't, you're missing out. And while it's about the homecoming for not just Ring of Honor, it's mostly about the homecoming for the Mecca, and we're taking out EC3 and getting to the top of that wrestling mountain.
I don't know if it's sold out yet, but you know, if it's not, then definitely get tickets, guys, because it's going to be a great show. And like you said, I was going to go to night one. I didn't see you on the card for night two. I wasn't thinking I wanted to go to night two. You're giving me a hell of a reason to say screw SummerSlam. I'm going to go to night two as well.
It'll be a better show.
Good. I get it.
But hey, man, thank you so much for taking the time on such an important night to give us the rub. And I apologize in advance for that loud, high pitched screaming that you hear during the match tomorrow. That will be me.
That's okay. I imagine there'll be a lot of there's going to be some energy in that building. I don't know how I'm going to react. Baltimore was a little insane, because my run started without really a crowd.
Right.
So I haven't really seen reactions to the Mecca. So the first one being Baltimore pay-per-view against the Briscoes. You wrestle the Briscoes, you could kind of just show up and they'll react. Being in my hometown the second time is it's surreal.
And that arena too, that venue, it's always something special, man. You're gonna get an atmosphere like unlike anything else just because of the building alone. So that's gonna be something tomorrow night, man.
For sure, man. I can't fucking wait. I'm sitting here jazzed up thinking about it. I mean, you heard me. I started yelling throughout this interview, so you can tell I'm fucking ready.
Dude.
Oh yeah.
We're all right. And one last thing, if and when you are ever ready to start pushing some merch so that schmucks like me can wear the shirt, you let Mama Mecca know that there's money out there to be made.
She's trust me, you'll be one of the first to know. Okay.
I appreciate it, man. Well, look,
no problem.
We'll let you go. I think Cass, you have some news that you want to drop. Hey, you're welcome to stay on if you want to, but I know you got more things than us.
I'm gonna head out. I got things to do. Don't want to take away from whatever news Cass is dropping. Hopefully, it's not about me because then it's bad news. And,
I'd run it by you first, brother. Trust me.
I appreciate it. You guys, I won't see you at the show because I refuse to talk to fans afterwards because most of them I can't fucking stand, despite how I feel about you two.
I want to dream of it.
I hope you enjoy yourselves, but keep a good Tripoli as big as COVID safe distance from me.
Awesome. Thanks for letting us come on, man. Thanks for being with us, dude.
Man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome. Talk to you soon, buddy. All right. So that was fun.
My
Hope everybody
favorite.
Enjoyed that, dude. I love that guy. I love that guy.
Look, I say it a lot. I have a few different favorite wrestlers, but that man is my favorite, and it's partially because he's from Philly, partially because he's from Northeast Philly, and he says it. But honestly, it's for some of the reasons that I said. He just goes forward and just he's a
star. He's gonna be a star, dude.
And look, if you know about the guy's background, he has been just trudging and working and underappreciated, and that I would think that's why why he gets the energy that he does. But what's up, man? You've been sick as a dog. I've been worrying about you.
I haven't been alive since the interview we did last Friday that we haven't put out yet. That we'll say we haven't told many people about it. So we'll tease that one a little bit. But since that one, I've been dead, bro. I've been sick.
I know, and I feel bad because it seems like you're just breaking news, and then you go silent for a couple of days, and people just think you're not doing anything.
Yeah, that's what's happened. Everybody's been like, "Oh, look at this guy fell off. I knew he was just flash in the pan." I'm like, guys, I've fucking almost been dead. I apologize. So
do you want to talk?
I scrambled a little bit to find some news. But my sickness or what?
Do you want to? I mean,
I don't give a shit if people want to know. I mean, I told some people. I don't care. Nothing to hide. I have a stomach disease. It's not like Crohn's. Everybody's like, "Oh, I assume it's Crohn's." I kind of wish because that seems like something they could probably handle a little bit easier. But I have gastroparesis, which is this super fucking rare stomach disease that's like pretty much what it sounds. It's a paralysis of my gastrointestinal system. So like I could
basically like when it flares up, you shut down. You can't do
Well, what happens is like I'll eat something and then you got like everything's on a time. It's supposed to be like you eat and then within 8 hours it gets from your mouth to your through your body into your colon and then another 8 or something like that. And for me, man, I can eat shit and 2-3 days later it's never even made it to my stomach. Like it just gets hung up in my esophagus. It never even gets into my fucking system. And then my body just starts trying to evacuate everything because it's like, oh, there's blockage and hangups and things. Something's really wrong. So it just starts constantly once I start puking, man, like it just gets everything out and then I'm sick. I'll puke like 10 gallons of just whatever, man. Then I'm dehydrated. And that's the thing too, is like it's within 24 hours. So it's like I just feel kind of sick. But then once I start getting sick, I get so sick that my body goes completely dehydrated within the course of 24 hours, bro.
Yeah.
So my like kidney functions will shut down to like 0%. And they're like, you've taken fluids for like all week at the hospital and at the doctor's office. And actually the hospital is so fucked up right here right now because of COVID. There's like a 6 to 8 hour waiting time and they're deterring people away from our hospital. So I've had to go to the doctor just to get treatment and fluid during the day because it's like they can't even go to the fucking hospital to get seen really right now. So
yeah. Well, you look better now. You look
I feel
good.
a little bit better today.
Good.
But what about you, man? What's your week? Did you watch any? If you watched any TV and you watched any wrestling? What you got going on?
I've been trying to. I actually I start back with classes next week, and I started full time because I've been part time at the office.
Yeah.
Over the summer, but I'm full time at the office now, so it's nice. I feel like I'm truly domesticated now.
Dude,
but
real job.
But I've managed to catch up on Raw, SmackDown, AEW, although I did not watch last night's Dynamite because for some reason my DVR, like, it's been doing this only with Dynamite. The past couple of weeks, it'll start playing on my DVR on my phone and then stop. So, yeah, I don't know, whatever.
I could kick you my like Spectrum login or something. You can watch it on demand if you need to.
I can. Well, that's the thing. I could watch it on demand, like from my cable box, but I can't watch it remotely. Like it'll play and I'll hear the audio, but not the video. So I haven't been able to watch last night's Dynamite.
Well, I'll kick you my Spectrum app and you can watch it on your phone because it's a Spectrum app on your phone. You can do it easy. So I'll help you out.
I appreciate it. Now that I'm home, I should be good.
Have you watched Heels yet?
Nah, and I don't know. Even should I? Like I heard it. Is it good? I heard mixed reviews about it.
Fuck anybody that has anything bad to say about that show. Jack Spade is my new favorite wrestler of all time.
Really? Okay.
It's so good.
It's that good?
Yes.
Now, how many episodes have they? Just one. Okay.
Oh, I'm all in.
One episode.
I was dying all week. I was like, nobody I know has watched this yet. So I was like talking to Sap. He forgot to watch it till later. I was talking to my other buddies, Jake, some other wrestling writer guys.
Right.
Fucking Jake finally watched it last night, and it took me forever to get it. And he had to watch it. He was watching Dynamite at the same time. So he's like, I had to take a break from Heels to watch Dynamite. Then he had to stop watching Dynamite to watch Marvel movies or some shit with his wife. I'm like, you're killing me, Smalls. I just want to talk about this. But when he finally got to the end, he was just like, bro, and it was just like 10 texts in a row. He's like, what the fuck? And we were just this. I was like, finally, I've been waiting a week to talk to somebody about this shit. No,
right.
I love it, dude. It's worth watching.
It's on Stars, right?
It's on Stars. I can help you out with that too. I got a login for you.
Look at you. You got
I pay for all my shit, man. I got to pay for all my streaming shit. So I got my Prime's got Stars on it, man. I want people to watch this show. It's fucking awesome. I loved it. And as much as like,
is Stars included with Prime?
You can buy it through Prime for like $4 or $5 a month.
I gotcha.
So I think I did that. Usually because there was something else I wanted to watch a while back, and I'm like, all right. But no, it's good, man. It's good. And the first episode I think was called Kayfabe.
Okay.
Which is kind of like how Brian said. He's like, hey man, I'm not going to talk to I'm not going to be talking to people at the arena. It's very much like that, dude. That's what I loved about that. I was like, oh shit, dude, he's like a new Jack Spade.
Right.
Got to keep that kayfabe alive, brother.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it's good. It's worth watching. I suggest everybody should watch that. Yeah. But Dynamite was pretty fun last night.
Right.
You should check
From
it out.
what I heard.
So got a little bit of news out of Dynamite for people. Hadn't seen this out there yet, but I've been kind of helping people with the last few weeks with what's backstage during these shows. And last night at Dynamite, backstage in Houston was Daga.
Okay.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's been there a few times. I guess I don't know if it's every time they're in Texas or when, but this wasn't his first time there. So he was back there hanging out in the back. I asked if Tessa was with him, because that's always an interesting dynamic. And apparently I was told Tessa was not there, and she has never been there with Daga when he's been there. So I thought that was kind of interesting for people that are wondering how that dynamic goes.
Yeah, what is Tessa's deal right now?
I don't know.
She just not wrestling?
She's, I don't know, man. We might talk about that one off the air a little bit.
Fair.
I don't want to step in things and then get people mad.
Yep.
But I've always.
She's up here. She's up here somewhere. Where's she at? Oh, she's all the way up top. You might not see it. There she is.
I see it now. Yeah. So I mean, she's a talent, but there's some there's been some issues that have apparently gone on in the back, some locker room stuff and just like some things at WrestleCade a couple years ago that have been worked through apparently. But I guess there's just a little bit of that. But we'll have to see what goes on with there. But Daga, man, where's he now? Is he MLW? Is that where I think he's?
I used to be able to watch MLW from the Fight app, but it's not on there anymore.
I know they're dropping stuff on YouTube again because I know they just put up Battle Riot a couple weeks ago. So I know that they're back to.
Okay.
I know they're back to doing that. Where is that?
They have a show coming to the ECW, or I keep calling it the ECW Arena. I should call it the 2300, but they have a show coming there, I believe, in early October or maybe the end of September. Okay. I had just seen it on.
It looks like he was working for AAA recently, and that on August 3rd at the Triple Mania, he participated in the Battle Royal for the Cup, where he was eliminated by Pagano. Was that this year or last year? It looks like 17. Was that this year?
I love how we're live and you're just telling news.
No, that was last year. That was last year. Big Daga was back there. That's how. But I didn't get much this week, man. I've been sick, so I didn't get to do a lot of.
We had 6 people. I was gonna say, God bless the 6 people that are watching, and as I said that, it dropped to 5.
Yeah, you're fucking running them off. But no, I mean. What else? There was some other stuff. We had Carlito was at Front Row last night. Right. I guess Brian Cage hooked him up with some tickets. I saw that he posted that on Twitter. But I mean, shit, we got big stuff coming up this week, man. Are you gonna leave early to go home tomorrow night, or what's your deal there?
Well, I'm stuck at the office until 5. If I can get out, a little bit early, if they'll let me out early, then I can get down there. But I probably won't get down there much before 5:30, 6 o'clock.
So you're going straight from work to the arena?
Yeah. And I know we're going to meet up with some Fightful people. I know Kate Hensler, she reached out that she's going to be at the show with, I believe, one of her co-hosts. So We'll get to see them. And I don't know who else is going to be there, but I plan on embarrassing myself with how loud I'm going to be for the Mecca. And also for our boy Tony Deppen, who's going to be on the night 1 card.
And don't forget about Shane and Taylor, man.
Shane's not on night 1.
He's on night 2. Right?
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, I would go to both nights in a heartbeat, if not for SummerSlam being night 2.
I mean, if you don't want to go, if you want to, don't let me know. I mean, if you'd rather watch fucking ROH instead of SummerSlam, I'm sure we can make it happen.
I'll let you know, because I think especially after what Bri just said earlier in the night.
That cage match, right? Dude,
the cage match is going to be good. I knew that because that was already announced, but I didn't know that they were going to have an announcement for the world title. And I really think that Bri's winning, man. I feel it. I have that strong feeling that he's going to win.
Is this your prediction? Is this your fucking?
I don't think it's a prediction. I think it's a spoiler.
Spoiler? Oh shit! You're going out on the limb. This is you.
I'll tell you what, I wouldn't say it so convinced if I didn't have this feeling that I get very rarely about certain things. It could be anything about, the Sixers are going to win tonight, or I know I did well on this test, or whatever. When I get a feeling like that, it's usually on point. I feel like he's winning, and I wouldn't be surprised if exactly what he just said does happen on night 2. They've been pushing him hard, and he kind of brushed it off and said it was because of right place, right time with COVID. I think it's because he's being understood as good as he is.
I think it's a little bit of both, probably. You know what I mean? He got put into that opportunity because of the situation with COVID, and it's all about what he made of it. You know what I mean? And obviously with that opportunity, he has just ran with that fucking ball, and you can see. It shows, man. That'll be fun tomorrow night, man. What time is bell time?
I believe it says 7 o'clock. And
doors are like 6 or something.
Yeah, so doors will probably be at 6. I don't know if that means that the pay-per-view starts at 7, or if they might do like a taping beforehand and then do the pay-per-view, because they've done that.
Isn't it on Fight also? Look at me not knowing shit, dude. I've been sick. I apologize to everybody for not knowing what the fuck I'm talking about lately.
It'll be on Fight. All their pay-per-views are on Fight.
I thought so.
Unless they just recently changed. They might have just recently changed that, because I know I got something from Fight about changing subscriptions.
I don't see it on there tomorrow night. It's not on Fight tomorrow night.
Well, it's definitely on Honor Club, and you can basically buy it on Honor Club for the same price that you would on on there anyway.
Yeah,
so
because I'm looking at the schedule on Fight right now for tomorrow night, and I don't see it listed. I see Emergence tomorrow night instead.
Well, I kind of gave up on Fight and started going over to Honor Club for Ring of Honor anyway, just because I don't really like the way that, like, it's not streamlined. You know what I mean? You got to go searching for it each time for each episode. It just bothers me.
Yeah, the Roku layout's not very. I don't like it. I don't like the Fight layout on my Roku one bit. Sometimes I can't find shit. It's like I know this is happening tonight, and I have to like literally dig and dig and dig and dig and dig to find it.
But, well,
what's your thoughts on? I mean, SummerSlam.
I was gonna say, man, I think we should do a separate.
Let's do that and pop on there maybe Saturday or something.
Yeah, let's do that live. We could do our prediction show, our preview show.
You can talk about last night's Ring of Honoring.
Right.
Saturday.
So we could do that. We can shoot for early in the morning on Saturday for that, if that works for you, if that floats your boat.
And I got the after Rampage tomorrow night. I'm on the virtual media scrum call for that. So
cool.
I think there'll be a big guest on the scrum. It seems like, you know what I mean. They don't usually have those for no reason. So,
dude, I'll tell you what. I really, really hope he just doesn't show up.
Oh,
I know, and I don't.
I want the bait and switch. I mean, even though it makes me look bad, like I was gonna say, want the bait. I kind of want the bait and switch.
As it was coming out of my mouth, I was like, nah, because then that shoots you and Sap in the foot. But
no, it's gonna happen.
If you take you guys out of it, just out of the pure like fan in me, and like, I just love when companies troll the fans and then the fans get really, really
that's
super
the thing, is it doesn't have to be tomorrow night. That's what I said the entire time. I was like, it's not necessarily if he shows up, it's when's he going to show up in Chicago. There's fucking Rampage, then we got Rampage the next week, or maybe the next week, or but you got 4 or 5 shows in Chicago coming up the next 2 weeks, it seems like. So I mean,
somebody on Twitter posted the funniest stuff. It was just like a picture of Punk at like somewhere in Chicago, and it just said like confirmed Punk in Chicago.
He's in Chicago. Punk's been spotted in Chicago. It's confirmed. I was like, I love it. And I mean, I'm kind of glad that some Ringside put out a couple weeks ago or last week or whenever it was that Punk had been training at PWTs. I think I mentioned to you off camera.
Oh
that
no,
for
I
weeks.
just laughed. But I just laughed at like no, I just laughed at the idea of like spotted Punk in Chicago.
Oh yeah,
like the dude lives in Chicago, you know.
Yeah, but no, I was just mentioning that because I think I've talked to you, and I think maybe I told Shazza a couple of these shows when we were off. You know, when we finished recording, we were just bullshitting afterwards. I think I'd mentioned that he had been training at PWTs for a while now. Mm-hmm. I just couldn't talk about it. I was waiting for somebody else to do it just because. That was something I was told to sit on. I was told to sit on that one, and I understand why. I mean, dude, if people know he's there training at PWTs at some point of the day, either at day or at night, then they're gonna camp the fuck out. They're gonna, you know what I mean? Like, so at this point, I think like he's got 2 days. I think he's all right. You know what I mean? I don't think he has to worry about it now. But yeah, so I'm glad that one came out for somebody else because I've been mentioning that to people for weeks too. So it's like all these things that I've been waiting and hearing about that I couldn't say are finally starting to slip out a little bit more and more too. So that's always good. But I would not be pissed off if we got a bait and switch. Like how would you feel if all of a sudden it's not Punk, it's like Brian instead or something like that?
Or even if it's just no one.
Like no one. Or if it's just some dude that you're like, who the fuck is that guy?
Yeah, right. Oh, I gotta plug
Randy
in my
Best. He's the best in the world. Randy Best.
I gotta plug in my I forgot to plug in my computer.
How are you even on the fucking air right now then?
Just on the battery. I got to plug it in for.
Oh shit! Danger! You're living dangerously, bro.
I mean, at this point, it is what it is. We got the important part done. Yeah. We got the Mecca. At this point, look, we could talk about whatever you want to talk about, buddy. You're the one breaking news, or we could wrap it up now and go into.
We can just bullshit for a little bit, man. I don't have any more news because, like I said, I was dead all week, so I didn't do a whole lot of. I haven't done a whole lot of digging. I apologize to everybody out there. It's not for. It's just I've been sick, man. It's been a lack of effort on my end. I'm not a flash in the pan, guys. I promise. It's just it's been a rough week.
Well, I'll tell you what, we lost pretty much all of our live viewers at this point, but I just missed you. I just like seeing you and talking to you. So
missed you too, brother.
I wish you could come up this weekend for the show, but hopefully soon.
Well, yeah. I'm thinking about. I've got some trips. I'm trying to figure out and plan some stuff here in a little bit, but we'll see. Because I know that I got denied for the media for Chicago. I was hoping to go to Chicago tomorrow, but got denied that one. Okay. But then I got accepted to the media scrum, so I'm like, all right, I guess I'm not.
In the back of my mind, when you said that, I was like, oh, because he was worrying that he was going to be like blackballed from AEW. So
I thought I was, dude. I don't know. I think I'm getting froze out a little bit, but I mean, it's what it is.
You're getting too hot too quick, man. They let you get too chummy with them, and then you Caesar them.
Yeah, if he doesn't hang out with us, then he won't know anything. That's not how that works.
Nah.
Yeah, but no, I'm kind of glad. I'm not gonna lie. If I had applied for credentials this week, that would have been a rough fucking trip up. I would have been like,
yeah, dude, you should probably just put the brakes on it for a little bit. I mean, it's not going to be your last rodeo. You know what I mean?
No, this is the first dance or whatever they call it. It's not the last dance, so we're good. No, it would have been fun, but I'm still hoping to hear about Chicago for All Out. I haven't heard about that yet either. So I might not go anywhere for that. I might be home based instead. So who knows what I'll be doing the next couple of weeks. We'll see.
All right.
What about you though? You got any plans for SummerSlam though? You guys usually do big gatherings for those pay-per-views, you and the boys and the girls.
That's one of the reasons why I was hoping that you'd be able to come up, because the Body Slam Philly contingent will be hanging out. I'll be with Toph, and I invited Butler over to come as well, and we're gonna have wrestling themed snacks. In fact, I'm gonna be pulling from the official WWE cookbook.
It's got the new logo and everything. That's just updated.
I know, right? But honestly, man, now I just really want to go tonight too. Snow Jordan has a question.
Oh, what's up, buddy?
And it said TK has an announcement tomorrow. You got it. So I don't know. Maybe you have any idea.
I'll dig around a little bit on that. He's teasing what the announcement's going to be. Like, what did he say? He said he had this long post. I saw it on the Twitter that like it'll excite everybody through the next week's whatever. It was something about just Chicago and the announcement. I think we all have a good idea of what we think the announcement's going to be. But
and Snow Jordan's asking, what if they just announced them?
What if they just announce him instead of having him debut?
Yeah,
easily could be the thing. I'm gonna root around a little bit tonight and dig and see, because I got the last announcement info, the United Center stuff the night before, so I was able to figure that out and tried to run it by him, and he no-sold me on it. Who would have thought Tony no-sold me on that news? But you're not going to be like, yeah, man, run with that. But yeah, that's not the announcement. I was like, I think it kind of might be. And then it was. But yeah, I mean, we'll see, man. It's going to make people tune in for sure. Like, I mean, I think everybody in wrestling is now going to watch tomorrow night, unless they're not around the TV, what happens tomorrow night. And there's a lot of ways they could do it. And that was what I talked about last month, is once all this started happening, like Daniel Bryan and Punk kind of happened, boom, boom, back to back. And they had to figure out what to do. Like, how do we capitalize on all this? What's
not
the
to
best
mention,
way?
Like, they're just the two biggest names. You got Christian Cage coming in. You've got Mark Henry, apparently Ric Flair coming in, the Big Show coming in. All of these names, and obviously they're not all going to be in-ring performers, but
yeah. I mean, it's interesting to say the least. And speaking of Ric Flair, did you see that picture?
It's not him, right?
He says it's not him.
Was he on that plane?
Dude, that was
I feel like that would be very easy to confirm.
He said I wasn't. He said Ric Flair doesn't ride planes. He said that it was on a train. My logic on this is, have you ever been to an airport where you have to take a train to the plane? That's what that looked like to me. The little fucking subway tram in an airport. I don't know. Look like him to me.
Regardless of whether or not it was him, just let him live. That man.
Let him live, man. Dude, I wish I was fucking styling and profiling the way Rick be. Shit. Dude, Twitter was brutal,
I don't have the balls to try to get away with that, even if I like.
God damn, he's the man. Even if it like, his response was great too. I don't ride trains. Woo. Like, that's it. I'm not gonna eat pussy in public. No, I don't ride trains. Like, that's the best part about that whole thing, is like, not that it's insane right, that Ric Flair would be eating out a woman in public on something. It's just that it's going to happen on a train, is where he's like, I draw the line there. Ric Flair would never ride a train. That was his logic. Man. And he told TMZ that. He's like, Ric Flair doesn't ride trains, guys.
I think we're missing an opportunity to steer off wrestling for a little bit. you're wearing your Braves hat right now. We're in the thick of the season, man.
I'm like wrestling's Fred Durst. He always had that dope Yankee fitted. You know, here I got my Braves fitted. His is always red. Mine's always black. It's the fucking uniform, dude. Me and Fred Durst are like we're kindred souls. It's like and I'm a Tool fan, but there's a meme I love, and it's like comparing Fred Durst and break stuff to Maynard and how much better he is than Maynard, and I'm like, I can't fucking argue with any of that. It's all facts. He's got a dope fitted. Maynard's got that weird haircut. Fred Durst wrote break stuff. Maynard's not even the most talented musician in the band.
Okay, all right. It's just weird to think.
It is.
It's really weird to think because you know what? I do think Fred. Well, I think Limp Bizkit is a little underrated. Like I feel like they get a bad rap these days for being
I want to go see them this summer. I wanted to see them this summer. They were touring. They're at festivals. Did you see it at Lollapalooza? Did you see Did you see the pictures of him at Lollapalooza a couple weeks ago?
No, I did not.
Oh, fuck, you didn't? Dude, he looks like everybody's dad. He's got a fucking white handlebar mustache. He looks like he's fucking... Dude, you need to Google that. Give that a Google.
My dad doesn't have a handlebar mustache.
Dude, you see this guy, you're going to be like, I would hang out at a fucking barbecue with this guy.
I want to know, Snow Jordan, since you're faithfully listening to us, who would you rather go see live, Limp Bizkit or Tool?
Ooh, I've seen Tool 14 times, so don't twist
You've seen Tool 14 times?
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't go twisting me around here, brother.
How, dude? I feel like they haven't had like 14 shows in the last decade.
I've started watching Tool in 1997, brother.
Okay. I think we lost Snow Jordan.
That's all right.
We officially lost all our listeners.
That's all right.
But look, man, we got a hell of a lot of wrestling coming up, and Philly and the tri-state has a hell of a lot of. Snow Jordan says Flair did it all for the nookie too.
He did. I like this guy. Bring it in. Callbacks. This guy gets it. This guy gets it.
Well played, buddy. Well played.
Yeah, dude.
But dude, we have a lot of wrestling between Philly, New York. I mean, I'm
I need to get you out to some of these showboat shows, the Atlantic City shows. That's not too far from you, is it?
Nah, AC is an easy drive too. Because
why am I not sending you out to fucking GCW and all these Atlantic City shows? Why am I not fucking putting you there to cover these for us?
I would do that. I mean, depending on look, my fall is gonna be very busy, but
you need to prioritize. You need to get your priorities straight, brother.
When you broke the Daniel Bryan news and your name was just everywhere.
Oh God.
I was joking with Toph. I was like, I think we need to quit our jobs and go work for Cass full time. It might be the safer option.
Give it 2 weeks whenever he actually shows up. Then it's like, now let's ride this fucking the gravy train as far as we can.
Yeah, right.
Until then, I'm just quietly sweating and stressing like, oh, how long until? But it's going to happen. It's one of those, like, there's no ways around it.
Right.
Man, wrestling's fun again. Wrestling's going to be real fun again, man.
Snow Jordan says Tool and Schism Live would be dope. I agree.
Dude, it's so good. That is my thing too, is like I've seen Tool so many times, but I've never gotten to see Limp Bizkit. Oh no, take that back. Family Values Tour 99, I saw Limp Bizkit. So I've only seen them once. So it was like, fuck man, I wanted to hit that up this summer. But Tool is by far the best concert I've ever seen. Every time.
Everybody that's been to a Tool show, even people who aren't huge Tool fans, who went to a Tool show, have all said that and that's part of the reason why. Well, the main reason why they take so long to drop an album is because of how long it takes them to do the videos that go with the album. But
because they get Alex Gray to do a lot of that shit and all the claymation and all that shit. But a lot of things too is Maynard's so fucking anal and meticulous. Like
right. But that's what I mean. But when you get to a live show, it's because the live show is so. It's not like they're just out there
lights and the videos or.
It's a full
part of its own. Yeah, it's like the music is almost, the sounds are almost background to what you're looking at. You know what I mean? Seeing, and
I like Tool,
amazing, dude.
But even if I didn't like Tool, I would go to a Tool concert for the same reason that I say I would go to a Lady Gaga concert. Because I'm not like a huge Lady Gaga fan, but her shows kind of sound like they're an experience.
Yeah, you go for the experience. And Tool is fucking, dude. Anybody that ever gets a chance to see Tool, please do it. I was supposed to go before the pandemic, and they canceled. Remember that they had stuff scheduled. I was going to go to Raleigh. That was my first one in a couple of years, and I was pissed because on the first end of that tour, I was like, fuck it, I'll wait. I'll just catch him in a couple months. And then here we are, and I still haven't fucking seen him. But Tool.
I had the same thing. I gave up my ticket. I was going to go with two of my buddies from high school, and I forget what I had, either some kind of conflict or I needed the money for something else. So they sold the ticket to somebody else. And I might be 40 by the time I get the chance to go to another one.
Bro, it's something you want to see, man. And I think they kind of remind me of like a modern day like Pink Floyd kind of thing, is in the fact that like it's just a visual experience. It's like a jam band but with metal, you know what I mean? And it's like everything, and you're not going to get the same show from night to night, even if the set list is the same.
Right,
you're not going to get the same show because just the way they improvise and ad lib through shit, and everything changes, and you'll get medleys where all of a sudden you'll start Schism, for example, then like halfway through it you're into 4 or 5 other songs that they're teasing, and then you've forgotten 20 minutes later where you were at, and then they come back to fucking Schism and close it out. You're like, oh shit, my mind just exploded. So Tool is definitely, if you ever get a chance, please go. Like, that's my favorite fucking band to see live. Since I was in high school, I'd never missed a tour until this last year. They came anywhere around me. I would go 6 hours. I would drive at least 6 hours in all directions to watch fucking Tool.
But that's nothing for you.
That's not
6 hour drive for you. Is like,
that's what I was saying. But like, I get the little arc. Like, I've gone like 6 hours in every direction at least once a tour. Like,
I could just see you, like old school you, sitting at your desk with a map,
with a fucking
and
compass.
and a protractor just going around in a 6 hour radius.
You motherfucker! It's been a thing. I've done it. I've been like, all right, technically this is this far, this is this far. So I've like, all right, so I can, all right, this is my arc, and that's what I've done. I've been like, I'll go as far as this way, and I'll go as far as this way, and then so fuck you.
Oscar Rodriguez says, hello fellas, what's up, brother? Thanks for jumping in.
Oscar's my he's been holding down the news writing for me while I've been fucking dead. So thanks,
okay.
Oscar.
What's up, brother?
He's the primary writer right now for the news team because your boy here has been struggling.
God bless you, and thank you for picking up the slack, because Lord knows I'm not going to do it.
No, man, I've been trying to get Jay in there to do it, and he's like, yeah, that's a good idea. And then a week later, like, I need to do something about that. I'm like, you should.
Yeah. Well, on that note, should we wrap it up, buddy?
Oh, what's tonight? Tonight's Thursday.
It is.
There's Impact tonight. Are you going to watch Impact?
Yeah, I will.
I know they retired the TNA
title. Okay. Yeah. Makes sense. It's just too confusing for anybody that doesn't know what's going on.
And they were having to book 2 main titles there for a while, and it made sense when you had Moose doing his thing, but now it doesn't make sense.
It kind of made sense just for the point of giving Kenny another title to be the belt collector for that point, like but now you're right, it doesn't serve any purpose.
But they carried it over. I think they recorded that like Tuesday, and then Christian had the belt last night, so because they hadn't retired it on TV yet, so it was like, good continuity. They kept it over, so I was like, but yeah, no. What else we got? So Impact tonight, and then fucking man, I need to watch that shit tomorrow night. That's just gonna be a good show. I wanted to go to PWX this weekend, in Charlotte, but that's Saturday. That's Saturday. It's bell time's the exact same time as SummerSlam, so it's one of those where it's like, man, do I want to work or do I want to go work? You know what I mean? Where it's like, I want to sit at the computer and try to work and cover, or do I want to just go and try to get some content and be there with the boys and watch a much better fucking program? I'm going to go ahead and just tell everybody that, like, until you get a chance, if you have to choose between watching High Spots Network and watching PWX tomorrow or Saturday and SummerSlam, PWX will be better.
I'll tell you what, I would do that. And if Toph and Butler and Sam are all down for it, I want to be against just going the Ring of Honor night too.
Let me because I got to talk to dude tomorrow. Make sure you guys are all good for that. But I'm sure that Saturday probably wouldn't be a problem either.
All right, well,
keep that in the back burner and let me know, man. What are you gonna do for the show? Are you taking signs? Are you doing anything? Are you gonna be?
I don't know.
You and Sam dressing up, or what are you guys doing? Because you guys have done the characters a couple times. What are you gonna be?
We're probably just gonna do the dress up for WWE, because we're going to SmackDown in Philly on in a few weeks, and I think we're gonna swap. I think she's gonna be Cactus Jack, and I'm gonna be Dude Love this time. But we'll see.
I Did I show you any? I got a new mask the other day, and I don't think it's in here. I got a new Pentagon Junior mask.
I think you took a picture and sent it to me when you got it.
I did, yeah. I like it a lot. I don't even remember fucking ordering it. It came from Mexico, and it's actually got like I think it's I don't know if it's a AAA or a CM. I think the La Sombra one was the CML mask, but they're both legit as fuck. I don't even remember ordering the bitches, but they're damn dope. So, dude, late nights, man, that happens with me. I'll be just like late at night, like 5, 6 in the morning, like all fucking tired and spaced out. And next thing I know, I got Bandito masks and shit showing up on my fucking mailbox. And
that's why I get mad when you're like, I don't got cash to come up, and I'm like, but you got like 16 freaking Bandito masks.
I've got 2, and I don't remember ordering a lot of them, and I apologize for that. Have you bought any AEW figures? I've been toy hunting a lot, man. I haven't found any lately.
You're gonna hate me for this. So when I was on vacation, when I was in Wildwood last week, on the boardwalk, there's like a sports memorabilia place, and they had old school figures still in the box. And I was going to buy a couple for, I was going to buy one just to send to you, and then I was going to buy a few others to have as giveaways. And we ended up not being able to go back to the store before the weekend was over. So if I do a day trip before the end of the summer, I'll go in there. I'll buy some stuff for the podcast.
Man,
but we still haven't done our first giveaway.
I know, and I actually bought I bought a Funko somewhere to add to that.
Did you?
Yeah, I don't remember which one it was or where it is, but I ran into a Funko, a WWE Funko somewhere, and I was like, I'll put that in the giveaway pile. Did you watch Triple Mania?
No, I didn't. I wanted to for our boy Vampiro, but
is he still?
Is he not there anymore?
I don't know, man. I know Conan was in charge most of this one. I think Carlos.
Okay.
But
I know Kenny had his. Did he win his match?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So he's still AAA.
Mm-hmm. The thing that I had heard from that was that Tony didn't want Kenny to lose back-to-back two belts in a row going into the pay-per-view. So they had Kenny to lose 2 titles. You know, I mean, he's to lose this because he lost the Impact title.
No, I get that. I get that.
They didn't want him to go and lose another title match this week because then it's I think it kind of deflates their like champion and the important. So
I guess so.
But the thing is too, like people were complaining about that, like blah blah blah. But what, you're mad that you didn't want an AEW guy to drop the belt to another AEW guy that's not even an AEW belt? Like, let him fucking lose it to somebody that's actually with the company full time. And like Andrade was there as kind of a one-off. He's not there to be like AAA's like flag bearing new star. You know what I mean? So I didn't see it serve a purpose really in my mind to have Andrade win. He didn't need it, at that point in the timeline. It would, I think too, I think it would have sucked a lot more out of like Kenny's momentum to have him, you know what I mean, lose, another match. But it is a good pay-per-view, man. I really liked the debut of I don't know how to pronounce it because I don't speak very good Spanish, but it was NDG. It was like Nueve Dynamite Generation or something like that. It was like, I don't know what the fuck they were called, but they were some CML guys that had apparently just gotten released earlier in the week from CMLL, and then showed up on the AAA pay-per-view as their like new signings. Cool. And they came in looking like fucking stars to me, dude. For somebody that doesn't watch enough AAA to like know who these guys are, I was like, oh fuck, what is this? Came out in suits, masks, like it looked like a fucking big deal when the 3 came out. You know what I mean? It was just like, oh shit, what is this? And then they came out, beat the fuck out of people, looked like badasses. And then La Empresa, Sam Adonis or Corey Graves' brother, and DMT Azul and Puma King, their little group came out, and now they're all 3 together. And I was like, oh shit, that looked fucked. Because I think that's the thing too with that is they're the CML guys that have invaded into AAA as well. The Sam Adonis, and because I think DMT Azul used to be Diamante Azul in CMLL, and now he's DMT Azul in AAA. So it's kind of like that kind of carried over continuity wise with that story. It was like CML guys coming into AAA, and then another one they factioned up. I just thought it looked fucking good. You should watch that. That was just a real good like segment. For somebody that doesn't know, I didn't know, like I said, I didn't know who they were because I don't watch enough. I was like, I got to look this up and figure out who these guys are because they just came off looking awesome, like fucking star power to me. So that was my take from AAA, Triple Mania. It was fun. Did you watch any of the New Japan Strong?
Nah, I'm behind on New Japan. I haven't been watching New Japan in a while because there's only so much to watch, man.
Did you see what happened at the show at the Coliseum, the LA
Nah.
Coliseum the other week? All right, so
What
we got
happened?
Will Ospreay returned.
Oh yeah, I did hear
With
that.
the belt, said he's back over here now. He's not going to go to Japan. He's going to be defending the IWGP title in New Japan Strong instead. Fuck him. He's like, fuck you guys. I'm here now. We had Good Brothers get the Guerrillas of Destiny came out and stared down and did a face off with Good Brothers.
Okay.
After their match, teasing their little program. Lance Archer got beat by Tanahashi. So Tanahashi's the new IWGP US champion.
So I guess he'll be bringing that to Dynamite then, right?
Who?
Tanahashi?
I mean, is he going to wrestle? Is he Tanahashi's New Japan? Is he's not? I mean,
but didn't Tanahashi do something? Wasn't it Tanahashi that had a like a vignette or something on AEW recently?
Yeah, because at the Charlotte Fight for the Fallen when he said he's coming to wrestle. And then Lance, and then that's when John Moxley was talking shit like, "Oh, I've been challenging you for forever. Now you're showing the fuck up." So
that's what I mean. That might be,
or they just do it on. They kind of do like what they did with that one where they have Archer go to Strong and then kind of bounce him back and forth. I don't know what they're going to do. They'll have to see if I can dig into that. But I thought it was good. That was a pretty good show. It was a little bit more better than I was expecting.
I could see that leading to a triple threat match on an AEW pay-per-view down the line later in the year. Full Gear, Revolution, where that match, that title is on the line in an AEW pay-per-view.
Yeah, you should watch that match. Archer looked good too against.
I like Archer
against Tanahashi the other night, dude. This is like big monster, Murder Hawk monster Archer. He looked fucking good. Like,
he played quarterback.
Quarterback at somewhere in Texas, right?
It was a 1AA school, I think.
Yeah,
might have been D2, but I think he played at like a FCS school or something. But yeah, he was a quarterback.
It was in Texas. I want to say it was like fucking Rice.
It's like Texas. I'm gonna look it up.
You can look it up. You can do it first. I wanted to pull this out of my head, but I'm not gonna remember it. And I was trying to remember my old because Jim Ross always used to fucking like the end of the WWE days would always be like, he's a quarterback for America, and always like try to reference somebody's like football skills. So I was trying to remember where he said he played.
Oh, Texas State.
Texas State.
Easy.
Where is Texas State?
San Marcos, Texas.
Okay, shit. Know what's funny about that? One of my best friends actually went. Now that I know where now that I know it's in San Marcos, that's where she went to school.
Okay. Yeah. It's in the Sun Belt, so they're D1.
They're D1. Okay. I knew it was. Yeah. I don't know if they were D1 when he played, but when he played there, you know what I mean?
Well, I think back then. First of all, I think Sun Belt was always D1, but it was considered because they have either 1A or 1AA is now FBS and FCS. Mm-hmm. But like Carson Wentz when he played at North Dakota State, that's still considered Division I football.
Yeah.
I think. I don't think he was D2, but there are D2 schools. I think Widener, where I go, I mean they don't have a law school football team, but their undergrad is considered D2 football.
Yeah, I need to look into more about could you imagine who else was a good quarterback? There was Eric Watts. Like these guys are just fucking tall, and you see these guys now, it's like holy shit.
But it makes sense, and you don't think of him as being a quarterback, but then when you look at his size, it's like why the hell wouldn't he be?
What else would he be? Yeah, he could be an offensive lineman, really.
Nah, he could.
He could, but shit, that's what fucking Baron Corbin was.
Right.
And then he moved to tight end, I think.
Did he?
Yeah, he was offensive lineman, tight end, I think. I think he was maybe an O lineman in college, and then in when he got undrafted or whatever, the Cardinals might have moved him to a tight end. It was one of the two.
Speaking of tight end, what's up with our boy Tony dropping my boy Tim Tebow on the Jags?
I didn't see that.
I was pretty disappointed about
that. When did that happen? Dude, I've been dead.
Either
when did
I think
happen?
Yesterday, maybe today. Either yesterday or today. They just caught him.
Well, I mean, dude, it's worth a shot, right?
Yeah. I love that, dude. I just wanted to see him succeed. I love Tebow, man.
That motherfucker's gonna be playing basketball next. It's the only thing he hasn't done yet, right?
That'd be sweet. Dude, I gotta go.
You gotta
Sam's
go.
got dinner for me. Probably for the past like hour. Chicken parm.
Shit, look at you. All right, man. Well, holler at me.
Guys, thank you so much for listening. If there are,
on
three
Sunday,
people that are still watching, so
what time are we gonna do this on
God
Saturday? Let's do this. What time are we gonna do this on Saturday? So we can
10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Sources are gonna say more like noon. Is that what I'm gonna get from Toph again?
No, I'm gonna make sure that I'm up at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
All right, you make sure I'm up.
Going live.
Make sure I'm up too. But we will do that, guys. Thanks to everybody again for checking us out. Remember to fucking follow us on all our social medias. Subscribe to our little YouTube gimmick here.
Shout out to the greatest wrestler doing it, the Mecha Brian Johnson, for coming on for a great interview leading into what's sure to be one of the most hyped matches that he's had in his career so far. And make sure you follow him at BJO_Mecha on Twitter. I believe also on Instagram, BJO_Mecha. And again, make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube so you can catch all of our content that we have coming up, including but not limited to a episode that we just did with Hall of Famer Jeff Jarrett, which will be dropping within the next few days. And honestly,
we'll do our recap first, and then we'll just drop that one, like, what, I don't know, Tuesday-ish, Monday-ish, something like that, maybe.
Yeah, something like that. But honestly, if you're listening to us on audio, you're missing out, because all of these live episodes that we do go directly to YouTube. So if you want to catch all of our content and make sure that you're in the loop for all of the news that Cash drops and all of these interviews that we have, make sure you head over to our YouTube, Body Slam Net Pro Wrestling, and make sure you subscribe over to us.
We should have, I need to talk to you about scheduling this one, but we should have the new Progress Women's Champion, British Women's Champion Giselle Shaw. She wants to come on the show.
Sweet.
That should be next week. We should have her on sometime. So we need to figure out a time for that, get the, scheduling down, being that she's over the other side of the pond. But
we'll figure that out afterwards.
We got tons of good stuff coming up, guys. So follow us.
Thanks for listening, everybody.